Hi, guys. Good night and welcome to Untouchable Studios. Welcome to Be Untouchable, the podcast. And tonight we have an amazing person. We have someone who represents culture, entrepreneurship, and community. She is also five-time Carnival Queen of Trinidad and Tobago, making history as the first woman to hold that title. Trinidad and Tobago, and by extension, the rest of the world, please help me to welcome the one and only, truly original, Roxanne Omalo.
Good night, good
Roxanne,
night,
welcome.
good night, Will. Good night. It's amazing to be here. I must say, the place is so welcoming and warm. Oh, great job.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute honor to have you here tonight.
Thank you.
Right? And this one is going to be very exciting, guys, because now we take a trip down the road of culture as well. And I know you all love it. We are the capital of Carnival, and we're going to get in with the Queen of Carnival. Imagine that. We have the Queen of Carnival right here in Untouchable Studios to share her story, her achievements, her success with you guys. All right? So, without further ado, we're going to give the people what they are here for. We're going to give the viewers what they want to see. And hopefully we're going to inspire someone out there who is looking on.
And that's important, eh? I mean,
Right?
once we can inspire at least one, then
Exactly.
we know we are doing a great job.
Yes,
Yeah.
at least one.
Yeah.
So as I've said in the introduction, right, you are 5 times the Queen of Carnival. And that's not 3 times, not 2 times, not 4 times, that's 5 times.
Five times.
That signals consistency, right?
Yeah, consistency.
Right. So why I want to ask based on that and actually making history. First of all, how does it feel? Right? And what type of discipline and work ethic had to go into you reaching that level of excellence and actually maintaining it because it's 5 times.
Yeah,
Right?
it's 5 times. So this started in 2011. You know, actually I was the neighbor to the actual past designer, which was at the time Entourage Production, and then I moved over to Ombre,
Okay.
and now I'm actually playing with paparazzi.
Right.
So as you grow, you evolve, and you go where you see best fit.
Right.
You know, the discipline level, it has been honestly tremendous because I am the kind of person I work out when it comes to exercising. You know, the costume varies. So you have costumes that are 2,500 pounds per year, that are 1,500 pounds per year, 1,900. So you have to be fit, you have to be
Wow.
healthy. You also have to have a mind of your own as well too.
Yes.
Because the late nights you may have to leave from Mayaro. That's one of the
Right.
disadvantage. To go to the mass camp to actually help them, then to drive back home. So you have to take the responsibility of knowing that this is your season. So you have to actually give it your all.
Okay.
So I actually started this in 2011, and I didn't knock on the winning door until 2018.
Oh, okay.
You know, I actually
okay.
closed 2017 when I came second. And
Wow.
that, the costume I played that year was Shira the Ice Queen. I actually
Yeah.
thought I won it.
Okay.
But again, the judge's decision is final.
Right,
You
right.
know,
yes.
I didn't win that year, but 2018 I went back with the same mindset, and I actually opened the door of winning.
Wow.
So I actually won 2018, and I think that was it. You know, after that, it was it wasn't stopping for me. 2019, I actually came second again, but I had a bit of a challenge that year based on the breeze. And after the competition, when we were in Port of Spain on the Monday, my costume actually caught fire.
Really?
So my entire costume that were hundreds of thousands of dollars went up in flame within 5 minutes.
Oh my.
You know, I watched my designer, you know, water came to his eye because of the work he put, but all of that is part of it. You know, based on where we passed that the electrical wires, the costume was too big. And since then, we kind of think of different areas in which we go to Port of Spain to play.
Okay.
2020, I won again. I opened the door again. I won the second title. I mean, I had it in the bag that year because that year I felt really good based on the costumes I saw.
Okay.
And that's when COVID hit.
Yes, COVID. That's when the entire world stopped.
Yeah, but I didn't stop when it comes to the training and stuff like that.
Okay.
And I took a break,
Right.
2021, and then 2022 I got pregnant.
Okay.
So, and it didn't have Carnival. It had a taste of Carnival that year.
A taste of Carnival. Right. I can remember that. I remember that clearly.
But I stayed out because I was pregnant and stuff. And then 2023, I gave myself some time to heal. Okay. And my past designer, his name is Varma Lakan, he approached me and he said, what you will do?
Yeah.
He said, we need you. And I went back and he built a costume. That year I played a tarantula. It was a big spider. And when I tell you, he actually looks at me and built a costume towards me. And that year, it was great again. Come out of retirement. Beat them.
Licks sharing.
Yeah, licks. We share some licks that year. And then 25 again. I looked at the costume in which he designed and constructed and built. And I said, you know what? I had it in the bag based on knowing what I could do and stuff. And my niece and my sister, Josanne, I always say they had a part to play in me winning.
Okay.
Because I remember my sister, Josanne, calling me this Saturday before the show. And she was like, Gail, I dream you win this show, I was like, Gail, what kind of Kobean thing is this? She started laugh. She said, no, I dream you win the show. But it had a little bubbles come out of them fish mouth.
Wow.
I was like, okay. She said, I don't know, where again, Hannah? And the vision just came to me. I said, that's a good idea. Okay. So I called the designer and I said, I wanted certain things. And he was like, okay, go down to the camp, show them where you wanted to weld certain things. And I looked all over Trinidad, that specific Saturday for 2 bubble gun. But I had to get the bubble gun that actually had the battery. So that it wouldn't run out. And I got it in Trin City by Toys R Us. And they had the last 2. And I said, the guy, I said, you're going to make me win Carnival, this queen. And he started to laugh. And actually it worked good. The way they fabricated the steel, how I wanted it and stuff. I could have maneuvered it and I did make bubbles come out of those fishes' mouth. And the crowd went wild, And so I give credit to my little sister too. And my nieces, Janice and Claire, they are always at my side.
Okay.
Another person who always with me too is my good niece, Joanne. And that was it. And then, bittersweet. After the whole winning and stuff, pass is the pass. Yes. But I always respect people. I give people their credit where it's due. And then I said, you know what? I think I will be out of this. I think I'm doing too much. And it's not where I want to go thus far. While I'm getting the recognition and stuff, it had a damp in it. And I was like, I'm out and stuff.
That's 2024?
2025.
2025.
Yeah,
okay, that was in 25.
Win. So that's my actual 4th win.
Right, that was the 4th win.
I won 24 and 25 back to back.
Okay.
So I was like, this year, it was a bittersweet year. So I said, you know what, I'm out. You older you get, the wiser you get. You want that peace.
Right, yeah. Peace,
so, despite the fame, the money things, it's all those doesn't worth it if you don't have a peace.
Yes.
So, and then, I remember my friend Curtis, Ted Eustace, always behind me. Ever since I'm playing with Ombre and Entourage, he said, if we get you, and we always vlogging. And he came to me in October and he asked me, and I was like, nah. He said, you'll know to do with that. And I said, let me go and talk to my family because they knew what I went through.
Okay.
So if they say yes. If they say no, no. So my significant other, he was like, he's out of it because he saw me cry too much that year. Okay. He saw me cry too much for all different reasons. And he said, nah. He can't see himself, supporting me with that aspect. Okay. But I'm here if he needs me.
So it was taking like a toll on you.
Yeah, it was the worst because it was community, it was the mass, it was the worst.
Okay.
But because I stood, firm and continued doing what I had to do. And then my son was like, Mommy, I think this is you. This is your calling. And I was like, okay. And then I contacted my sisters again, Josanne and Diane. And they're like, girl, you're pulling that thing until you're green. And then I have a friend, Laverne Burnett.
I love their attitude.
Yeah. I will have a friend named Laverne Burnett and another friend named Jeet. And I called them and they were like, hey, That's you. The
Yeah.
stage is for you. So I was like, you know what? Let me give it some time. And I contacted my lawyer. You know, he said, you do what you want to.
Right.
Once it's legal and it's proper this year time, we're going to do it proper.
Okay.
And I took the opportunity. The package was great.
Right.
And I mean, that man above, I mean, he made it happen again. I always say everything happens for a reason, for the timing. So I think that I was broken down actually to build up stronger.
Right.
You know, and I came out this year with a stronger mind, more focus, continue to stay quiet, you know, let the noise around me just continue to be noise. And I went into that. And then I met the designer who's Marcus Eustace. He's from Canada. He's a Trinidadian.
Okay.
But he's from Canada. He lives in Canada. And then I saw this was the heaviest costume, Brandon.
Wow, I could imagine how heavy that costume was, right?
And again, it was one of the favorites. So I just had to know what to do. But this year, there were more technology in it.
Okay, more technology.
I had to know where to press buttons because I had to move wings. I had to do a lot of different things.
Yes.
And it was heavier because of the frame they built. They didn't build it with RHS. They built it with pipe.
Okay, with pipe.
Yeah, so it was heavy.
And were you gymming before that?
Yeah,
in preparation for?
Yeah, I'm gymming right too. My gym instructor, Daryl Stanley, I mean, Hulk Nation.
Right. Yes.
He works with me.
Big up to Hulk Nation every time.
Yeah. He works with me when it comes to carnival time like a beast.
Right, yeah.
So,
I know he does his thing.
Yeah, I work with him throughout the year, but when it comes to carnival, from November to around February, he would take a different step with me based on what he knew I have to do. So, I mean, the costume was heavy, but I could have maneuvered it based on that. And then I was victorious again, so it was hat-trick. The feeling was... I cried, Brandon. And
tears of joy, right?
Tears of joy,
relief.
Tears of relief, tears of satisfaction, tears of disappointment. It was everything in one.
Yes.
And I always say, you know, I'm thankful. While I'm not getting carried away, I'm thankful the opportunities are coming in. I'm elated to be the first female to ever carry the 5-time title in Trinidad and Tobago. And actually, the first, I think, to carry hat-trick.
Yes.
You know, but it's nice. And knowing I'm coming from a rural community as Rio Claro.
Exactly. Man, I'm so intrigued right now. You have my mind racing all over the place right now because, you know, the amount of things you described there, you know, the journey. There were lows, there were highs, you know, getting prepared, all these different type of things.
Yes.
And again, it shows the determination because you stated that you started in 2011, right?
Yeah. 2011.
And your first win only came about 2018. So for all those years, you kept pushing.
Yeah,
You kept pushing until it was your time.
Yes.
And I think that is something so important that we often miss.
Yeah.
Right? Because we always want things to be on our time, or once we start, we should see results right away.
That's so true.
You know? But you're a living testimony to when is your time is your time.
Yeah, I normally consider myself as Job, When you think about his story, I've lost, gain, lost, gain. And I would continue to learn as I go in life. But it has been a journey. You have to be disciplined. And that's not just in the mass industry. In anything you put your mind out to be.
Exactly.
My timing may not be your timing.
Yeah.
And your timing may not be that man above timing. You see, when he said, time for you now to excel, or this is your time to show yourself, you would know.
Right.
You know,
and doors open that no one can close, right?
That is so true.
And now from not winning for all those years to being in the history books of Trinidad and Tobago's culture, right? What we known around the world for, which is Carnival. That is just simply amazing.
It is. The amazing fact is, I didn't even know that they call me the Marshal of the Mass.
Right.
Was like, what? You know, people were messaging me, hey, you is Marshal of the Mass.
Rightfully so.
You know, and I feel good to know that they compare you to such a person because, I mean, that's an icon, you know, somebody I look up to in so much different ways, you know. When I saw persons this year were saying he should retire. And I use a statement towards my sister again, and she was like, she Arnold made the statement. I said, your daughter is coming first in test every single year.
Yeah.
I said, she's just in standard 5. Would you tell her come second for somebody else to come first?
Exactly.
You'll continue to push her for her to excel.
Exactly.
So if you're great, continue being great. Or if somebody is second, let they try to catch up with you.
Raise the bars.
Yes.
Right? We shouldn't drop or diminish the quality to facilitate anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, you keep pushing, you keep reaching for greatness.
Yeah.
And as an individual, you would know what your capacity is. And if I don't feel like I'm fulfilled 100% in what I'm doing on my career, it is up to me to keep pushing.
Facts.
You know, so sometimes you just have to silence the noise because the crowd will always be there. There will always be the naysayers.
Yeah.
And we have to keep pushing, you know.
That's so
I really love that analogy that you used.
Yeah.
And I hope that people would actually take that in as well and apply it.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to tell your child to, you know what, let somebody else come out first. No, you're going to keep pushing them, right?
Exactly. If my child gets 97 in maths this year, hey, baby, we want to get 100 next year.
Exactly.
So the 3 points that you miss out, we have to know what to do.
Yeah.
So in life, you always try to be the best that you can. There will be obstacles. I mean, obstacles will come in all different forms, fashion, but have that dedication, have that mindset of winning. And not just winning for the public, but winning for yourself too.
Exactly.
You know, in different ways in which you can win. So the small step you take today might be a step you didn't take yesterday. So that's a winning point for you as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, I just want to go back to something because, you know, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around it. I want to know, what is the process like though? Like, okay, for example, my niece would get like little projects in school to do, like to build for Carnival, like a little borokit or a donkey. And my sister, my mom, and I would come together and we would be cutting cardboard, Bristol board, sticking things. And, you know, it takes us almost 4 days for one little Carnival costume in the primary school. So how does the process work on that level that you're on, which is the highest level there is to mass?
The process is very tedious. You know, I give the credit to the designers and the persons that come in the mass camp.
Right.
Because the last band I play with, which was Ombre, they actually start preparation as Carnival finish April, May. Same year.
Toward the following year?
Towards the next year.
Okay.
Based on the designs, and there may not be one king or queen.
Okay.
So if you have 2 or 3 in each band, because each band has 2 kings, 2 queens.
Right.
The band that I'm playing presently, there's just one queen, which is paparazzi. So they concentrate on me. But it takes you about an average 6 to 8 months. Good. Sometimes some people go as far as 10 months. And I've seen costumes where actually the night of the prelims, they're actually still doing things in the backstage to go before they go on stage 10 or 15 minutes.
Right, last minute tweaks and that type of thing.
It takes the costumes that I have been portraying, takes the designer, the team, close to 10 proper months to get constructed, to get fitted, to get designed, because you have to fold the foils by your hand, the papers, you have to cut everything by your hand. So when persons see the costumes that are big and huge and pretty, everything there, I remember somebody was telling us, you are importing things. And I was like, if you actually come and see the cutting of these foil, the last designer, his mom, Leo Lacan, Miss Susan Lacan, that lady literally folded close to 100 bags of foil. Her fingers were numb. This year with the Eustace brothers, when I went in the camp, these guys were 3, 4 in the morning. We were leaving there. They were sticking paper. They were cutting sequence. So it's a tedious job. Once you know and you want to execute a specific way, you have to go to. But I know it takes around 6 to 10 months with most costumes.
Okay, totally understand. That's something I always wondered about, because I know how tedious it is to make these
it is
on a smaller scale. So I can imagine that scale. And as you mentioned a while ago, in terms of the materials, so you do like a mixture of imported and local materials, or?
Yeah, but basically most of the materials are bought here at Tamaruz. But if you want to get your feathers and things to a certain extent, you would bring it in. But I'm telling you, most of the stuff, 90% are bought locally. With the RHS, with the fiberglass, with the foil, with the sequence, your glue, everything is bought locally. With the bands I have played with.
Okay, so guys, we are here live with the Queen of Carnival, Roxanne Omalo. She is in the history books and she is here at Untouchable Studios tonight. So right now, I'm just gonna give you all a little clip from one of her achievements, right? And we'll be right back with more questions with Roxanne Omalo.
And your Carnival Queen for 2026 with 431 points, portraying Duchess of the Dark Skies. Please put your hands together for Roxanne Omalo.
Congratulations to all the queens.
Beautiful, beautiful indeed.
Here she is.
Give it a one more time for our Carnival Queen of 2026. Oh, yes.
Congratulations once again. Queen of Carnival 2026.
All right, guys, welcome back. And we're going to get right back into the questions. And we're moving away from the culture a little bit, and we're heading to the entrepreneurial side. So, Roxanne, you are multi-talented. You also dabble in entrepreneurship, right? So, I know you have, it's 2 products on the market right now.
Yeah, that's right.
I would like you to tell us a little bit about your products, what it does, who is it for, and what are the benefits of using your products.
So entrepreneurship is something I like.
Yes.
I am the kind of person, I take risks.
Yeah.
My family say, you are rebel, And it's not a matter of that, you always will find what is right for you when you keep doing certain things,
Right.
I have lost based on trusting the wrong people, but I've also gained by understanding different level of entrepreneurship.
Right.
So sometimes when things don't work out for you in one aspect, I don't ever tell people to say that you fail. That was just not your way of doing business, or that's just not for you. So look at something else and dive into it. I always thought retail was for me.
Okay.
So I opened up a cafe. I did all sorts of things to live with the public. But then I realized this is not me. I am more into the manufacturing.
Okay.
I like innovation. I like different things like that. And I came up with a butter, but based on the bigger boys out there,
Yeah.
I had to remove myself quietly. Safety is important. So I said, in due time, I would relaunch back that. And then I decided 2017, I was working on an hair oil, and actually it was working. So I am the kind of person, I would write down things when I do it, even when I cooking.
Right.
For the first time, if I am trying something in the kitchen, you would see me with a notebook.
Okay.
Because if it comes out good, I might turn it into a business.
Yes. You want to be able to replicate that, right? Yeah.
So I want to be able to remember what I did to make this thing come out good.
Understand.
So that is the kind of person I am home.
Yeah.
I am, if you know me, and the people who are around me would tell you that. I don't like to lose.
Right.
So
that's the winner's mentality, right?
So if I say, I'm trying this way, and I'll be in the kitchen, they'll say, so why you have a book if you're cooking? I want to make sure if this thing come out well good, I can have a measurement and ingredients I could follow. And when I dive into the hair oil business, because at that time I realized it was COVID again. After I relaunched it, and I got a young lady in Rio Claro by the name of Akita Lightfoot.
Right.
She's do braids and stuff.
Okay.
Her name is the Hair Palm Paradise or something.
Yeah, shout out to Akita Lightfoot as well. Yeah.
And I reached out to her because I know she uses local stuff now, natural stuff, because she does braids and these things.
Right.
And I gave her some of the oils, and she started to send me feedback after 3-4 months of persons using it.
Okay.
And the testimonies were so great.
Right.
And I was like, Kita, I think I should bottle this and sell. And she said, that's a good idea. So I started to bottle it, and Kita was the first person to actually started to sell my oil in Rio Claro.
Okay.
And then I started to grow, where I went to Pennywise, and they took the oil And it started to grow. Persons from the islands were calling me.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay.
Yes.
And then COVID came and, everything started to go slow.
Yeah.
But I still didn't want it to actually lose that aspect because the momentum was going good. And I was like, you had to stay inside and comb your hair. So let me keep pushing on it. And then I started to reach out to persons to carry the oil on consignment base. And they did, and it was growing. But my bottles were imported.
Right.
And that is where the challenge came in.
Okay.
So sometimes you were getting bottles on the site. Next time they were out of stock.
That was during the COVID period?
Yeah.
Okay.
So sometimes they were delaying the stock. It wasn't getting, and customers were complaining.
Yes.
Because, that's the thing. They would say, oh, when you support local, the consistency is not there.
Yeah,
and
yes.
It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then I had to think about it. And I saw one of my girlfriend who has another skin and hairline, Sassy is her name.
Okay.
In Mayaro, and I reached out to her about her bottles. And she, again, very nice person, told me where she buys her bottles.
She gave you the plug.
Yeah.
Right.
And actually, I got in contact with the person and started to buy the actual spray bottle.
Okay.
So, it was going good. The oils are growing.
Right, yes.
And then I decided to make a stronger formula. I said, you know what? I had a few persons reach out to me and they had the alopecia. I'm not a dermatologist or a hair specialist or even a doctor.
Right.
But what I know, what I work for me, I try to tell persons to use. And again, don't hold me on it because I am not these persons specialized in it. And I developed oil, sent it to test, and I got the approval. And I said I'm going to do it in a serum form. And last year, I launched the serum form in a smaller bottle because it's stronger.
Right.
And it's growing really good. The feedback I've gotten.
That's called the Regrowth Hair Oil.
Yeah, the head of hair regrowth oil.
Okay, right. The head of hair regrowth oil.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and that is growing really good. In Mayaro, we know the place as Jessica. She carries it for me.
Okay.
There's another Violet on Peter Hill. Tobago. We go as far as Grenada. Persons from Grenada I have selling there for me. And management has changed in Pennywise, so I'm trying to get it back there. But, slowly and surely I will. And again, consistency. So the oil has been growing. It's about 5 years now I've been doing that.
Okay,
and
that's great.
Slowly but surely it's growing. And I must say the feedback I've been getting is really, really incredible. Persons telling me their hairlines are growing back. They had dandruff, they have scalp. And I guess it's based on the natural stuff I'm using within it.
Right.
And taking my time to make sure that it's blended right and it sits right. And, I make sure that my oils are tested.
Sounds good. Good. Yeah. So guys, if you're having some issues, you know who to check, right? To line you up, right? Yeah. So I really like how, you keep pushing in everything, regardless of the challenges. COVID, supply and demand, the bottles were not available. You went the other route. You found out where you could get it. You keep moving forward despite. And that's what I really like about your winner's mentality and pushing forward. Now, I know the oil is already very popular, but what actually inspired you to go into hair of all things? Or was it just another one of the many things that you've tried?
I would say it's my sister again.
Yeah.
This girl I feel she's a magician.
Oh, gosh.
Because if something should happen to her, she's called me Tiny. Right. Tiny, you feel you could make something for my hair? So she was getting at a time, her hairlines were going. And I told her, I said, I think you're you're tightening your hair too much. You're wringing your hair too much. She said, no. And stuff like that. So, again, I'm not the expert in that field. Right. But I decide, I read a lot.
Yes.
I read a lot. I dive into things that I know would help my mind open and evolve.
Yeah.
I read a lot.
That's very important.
A lot.
Very, very important.
I show the neighbors around me, maybe hear me singing and reading with my daughter because I have her doing the same.
Right.
And I just decided to, read up on some of the herbs and the oils that are good for hair. And I said, you know what, let me dive into it. And again, as I said, when that was developed, I sent it to Akita because I know she does the hair.
Yeah.
And she had a few clients use it.
Okay.
And the feedback was great.
Was amazing.
Yeah, and I told her, Kita, I'm going to put this in bottles. And she said she thinks it's a good idea. And every week, Kita was calling me. I was sending like 12 bottles. And Kita was like, hey, I need oil. And I said, you know what? This thing had to be working. So the inspiration really came from me diving into something else, knowing that I know female and male, because we use the oil as well on your bed.
Okay.
So the guys were using it on their bed.
Gang.
Yeah. So, you're looking at what the world needs in business and trying to see how I could accommodate it.
Totally
and
understand.
See, if I would be successful. I mean, I have tried other things, as I said, and it didn't work out, but that didn't mean I failed. It just wasn't for me.
Okay.
But there's one particular thing I want to see relaunch, which is my pumpkin butter, because I developed the first pumpkin butter in Trinidad and Tobago and actually the Caribbean. But that was going good. I got a great investor and stuff, and she was it was nice. And the big boys started to make noise.
Oh, okay.
So I can't rumble with them as yet. As yet. What respect is due. The people who I had pushing it out for me, they started to hold back on certain things. So I know, and I just say, what, let me hold it back. I'll relaunch it in the future.
Yeah. Timing is everything. Timing is everything.
I think slowly but surely, I have a few things up my sleeve that I still have in the bag that I want to let out when it's the right time.
Okay.
Business-wise as well too. But again, as I said, I will stick in the manufacturing and innovative side.
Okay.
Retail is not for me.
But what do you say to the persons who say, all right, stick to one thing, aim to this target and go for that target? Because, if you try all these different things, you may not be able to manage, you may not be successful. Would you say to them, it comes down to the individual? Because each individual may have a different capacity, right? Maybe you're able to do 5 things effectively or try 6 things effectively, whereas another person may just be able to focus on one. What do you say to the persons who say just one thing? Is it inaccurate to say that, or should they?
No, everyone has their strong point. Everyone knows what they want. But I always say, don't put all your seed in one basket.
Right.
Because I've learned from it. And sometimes, according to the world, according to the economy, you don't know how it would shift.
Exactly.
So sometimes you put all your eggs in one basket, basically based on, I'm going to concentrate and build this business.
Yeah.
I'm going to build it to the highest. And then there's someone else looking at it too.
Right.
But what I'm stating is that you would know your strong point. I don't believe, from my experience, that I'm going to dive into 99 things.
Right.
Because I don't want to micromanage. I don't want to fail in certain things. But I would tell persons, and I know a lot of persons who have done it too, if you know that you have the main business, always try to have 1 or 2 smaller ones that would be the backup in case this main one should 1 fail or 2 should take a little downside in economy, because business today is based on economy.
Exactly.
The way how the trend is going, every day someone is opening up something new.
Yeah.
And how I used to look at business long time, I always wanted to be niche.
Yeah.
I wanted to be different.
Yeah.
But niche sometimes is not good. It's not always good, eh?
Not always.
Sometimes selling water with somebody else might be the better thing to do than coming out to be niche. You just have to know your strong points, understand your weaknesses, learn from your mistakes, and don't ever blame anybody but yourself when you make
I totally agree with what you said there.
Yeah, that's just me, how I look at it, The person that's building their one business, I mean, if it's going good for you and you reach to a point where you think you have enough finance, or I say experience, where you could dive in quietly to something else, I would say do that. Shoot for it quietly, because the way how economy is today, I'm telling you.
Right.
Last year, you would get 99 people having sawmills. This year, you have people home making their own wood.
It's true.
If you understand. So if you look at all these aspects of it, where you would find persons who would be going by hairdressers to do their hair.
Yes.
In the past, you too have taken over. I have seen my nieces sitting in front of a laptop doing her hair.
Exactly.
So everything would have a way in which it will fluctuate. So you have to watch how the economy works and how it moves, and go with the flow with your business or
I
businesses.
totally understand. And that shift can come about at any point in time, so you really have to look at the economy where that is concerned. So I know that you also created Trinidad and Tobago's first talking flashcard. Well, the first to be developed in Trinidad and Tobago that actually helps the younger ones, the children, to be educated while celebrating their culture as well. Can you tell us a little bit about that? Right? And what inspired it as well?
That is a baby. That is that aspect of that educational part side of me came with my daughter. Okay. So I have a son. Okay. He's 21 years, a very intelligent young man, 6 levels, associate degree, going to us. He's very, very, very respectable. You know, I
Cheers to him.
Yeah, I mean, he knows mommy, so he has to keep on the right track. But I must say, he's very, very, very. He's a son worth having. You know, he's my eye. And then I had my daughter 18 years after.
18 years after.
18 years after. And it's because, I mean, you know, when you're in love,
yes,
love does make you do all kind of things sometimes. Love, that word love. But I truly love her daddy. That's my husband to be. And he and I, we spoke about having a family together, and that's when, you know, we started with the thinking and the whole structuring of my daughter. And she she came into this world. I mean, that's our angel, Skylar. The life of the party, the person that has me dreaming every day.
Right.
Because the energy level and the person who gave me the inspiration behind this product. Because she has a mind for a 3-year-old that is out of this world. And she would ask you questions. She may not talk properly, but she'd ask you questions. And then I saw this American style version of this. And I was like, you know, I could replica this.
Right. Okay.
I said, I saw this and I said, I could develop this, but something local. I am into culture. Far too long, I asked my son, what is a bandolin? He said, I mean, where's that? I said, you a very UWI student with all these, you know, and you don't know it's a bandolin. He said, Mommy, I don't know. I said, you don't know it's a bandolin? Then I asked my niece a question. What's a shak?
Right.
So it was a shak. And I was like, okay. So I started to do that. And I said, you know what? Let me dive into this. Let me see how I could replica this. So I actually replica it from an American version I saw where it was just doing the 1, 2, 3, the basic thing, A, B, C. So when you put it in the device, it was saying that 1. But every child knows 1.
Yeah, every child knows 1, right?
Every child knows 2.
Yeah.
Every child knows bat, cat. The first thing when you see an alphabet, A for apple, B for bat.
Exactly.
So our children are programmed like that. And I was like, nah, Roxy, you are into culture. This is Trinidad and Tobago. Come, dive into it. So it took my son and I a couple of months, and I was like, who to get on this board? Errol Fabian.
Okay.
That's my friend. I said, let me call him. And I call him. He said, Roxy, what's up? He said, I have something to throw to you. The next day he was by me. And that's how good we are.
Right. And shout out to Errol Fabian as well, man.
And
another icon,
he sat with me and we developed. He said, this is good. So I had my son who is into the whole IT thing. We started to develop it. And then I have a supplier out in China.
Okay.
Who I have long relationship with. But the time barrier was so different. When I am chatting with them, it was saying, and then they had to send things to me. It was tedious, but consistent.
Yes.
And I reached out to another good friend of mine, Mr. Joseph Adams, too.
Okay.
And these are people into the whole culture aspect. He's a Calypsonian. And I told him what I wanted to do, and I started to work on it. And Mr. Fabian said, you know, I'll do all the voices for you free. Because I just like the whole idea.
That is great.
Yeah. And some of the pictures we actually couldn't get based on the copyrights and all these things, you know.
Yes.
So we had to use the cartoon type, and then some we had to pull from the internet based on the free. So it wasn't the best we thought it would have come out, but the whole thing came up around 85% successful. You know, the device is, when I tell you it's great, it's for children 3+. We have 60 cards. And the cards are based on our local. We have stuff like A's for Gucci.
Right.
We have things like these for doubles.
Nice.
Bacon Shark. We actually have these things. You're telling it aloud. We
Our
had
local items.
Yeah, we had foreigners reach out to us to get a few for Carnival. There's a particular place that he's working close with me, Discount Depot. He's helping me push the product as well too. The MP, Mr. Nicholas Morris, he endorsed the product based on letters. So I'm hoping to see the Ministry of Education. Right. I had a meeting with BP.2. They love the idea of it. So I want to get it across to all the preschools and the special needs schools in Trinidad and Tobago. So, I wanted to reach out to corporate Trinidad to help me do that. Because the children will be opening their wide knowledge of learning as well as learning about the culture.
Exactly.
And saying words that you and I, as even adults, may not remember. We have words like maracas, Charlottesville, Iguti, Manikou, my daughter, say Trinidad and Tobago. Mayaro, Rio Claro, things that we have been forgotten in the line of education and in the line of learning.
Yes.
And our culture as well too, I think we only take it serious for a particular time frame.
Exactly. That's so true. And we need to keep culture at the forefront. And that's something I think it's always at the back burner until, as you say, a particular time frame.
Yeah, and I think we need to have this year round. We need to showcase our talent in different ways, in different formats, and different methods. Let the world know, we have the greatest carnival, but we also have one of the greatest culture aspect of it too.
Exactly, we're very culture rich.
Yeah. When you hear people, I would give credit to TikTok as well, because people all over the world now are diving into our core of our culture.
Exactly.
They are coming to Trinidad based on what they see and hear, and doubles, roti, all these things.
Especially
we have on
the foodies, they love it.
And that's what the card is basically about. So it's a token flashcard that interact with the device. You say the word, you punch in the card in it, and the device says the word, and you say it aloud. We have children using it presently. We have feedback from parents that they love it. It has helped when it comes to improvement of speech. There are a lot of autistic children that, non-verbal children.
Right.
So we want those persons, to understand that all our children are important. And we have to start by developing our children's minds in the right direction.
Exactly. Start from young,
Especially how society is going now.
Exactly.
And I have written, and right now it's in the publishing aspect of workbook. A workbook for some first year and second year, a development behavior workbook that I'm hoping to launch soon. Because I'm looking at the behavior of some of the kids out there, and it's frightening. And I have children as well. So that aspect of the education aspect, when it comes to me, may not be the teacher, but I'm a mother. And I always say, if you're a mother, you are a teacher. That's the first way of being a teacher. As a parent, you are the first teacher before they reach in school.
Exactly. Yeah. That's so correct. And guys, if you're wondering where you can actually get your hands on the talking flashcards, I will leave a link in the description so you can actually get yours as well. All right. So I actually look forward, because I know it's going to happen. I look forward to all the relevant authorities actually embracing the flashcards, both the flashcards and the workbook that is to come. And right now, we're just going to take a small pause. We're going to head to the sponsors corner. And when we come back, we dive into more with the queen, the 5-time queen of Carnival, Roxanne Omalo.
At SMCL Limited, we provide professional and reliable construction services. Save time and money by calling us today. We'll take you from start to finish with relative ease. Contact us at 868-465-4251 or shazidmohammed.9@gmail.com.
All right, guys, welcome back. That was our sponsors corner. Now we get back into the interview right here with Roxanne Omalo. So, as a mother, an entrepreneur, and a community activist, how do you balance those roles while still making an impact? Because I know a lot of persons, right? This is not to bash anyone, but I know a lot of persons, single, no kids, not working, and they still complain about not having any time. You know, I don't have the time to do this. I wanted to do this, but I don't have the time to do it. How do you balance the roles? Because you seem to do it all, entrepreneurship, culture, community. How do you balance those roles and still make an impact?
So I actually have two names.
Mm-hmm.
Some people call me Wonder Woman. Some people call me Superwoman.
I like that. I like those names.
Yeah, they call me Wonder Woman or Superwoman. But it's all up to the individual.
Right.
We all have 24 hours in a day. We have to know how we want to spend it. I am not about here to get rich, but I'm here to build a legacy.
Okay.
And I have two young ones that are looking on at me. They would never ask to come here. So I have to make sure I am the best mom, the best entrepreneur, the best community person when it comes to them. I have to make sure that they are comfortable first. So I'm not the morning person as well too, eh?
Neither am I.
My God.
Neither am I.
I am not the morning person.
Yeah.
My friends do not call me before 10 o'clock.
Oh, wow. 10.
Don't call me before 10 because it's either when I get up to organize my daughter for school or anything like that, which she's not going presently yet. I'm doing homeschool.
Okay.
But I actually, if I have to do something important, you will get me. No. Anything from 11, Wonder Woman will come in.
Yeah.
But it's all about you balancing. I make time. I make time. I make time to be a mother. I make time to be a wife. I make time to be an entrepreneur. I make time to exercise. Just yesterday, one of the neighbors said, "How you do this? How you do this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "Wait a minute." She said, "I need that motivation." And it's all about what you want to achieve. The days that are down, you cry. I cry a lot.
Okay.
I am the biggest baby,
Right.
Cry and pray. You see, prayer. I pray a lot. I pray, I read a lot, and I cry a lot too. This come you a real big baby. If somebody says something about you want to cry. But the whole aspect of it is up to the individual. You have to put your mind. Don't ever say you cannot. Tomorrow is not waiting on you. Make that sacrifice and effort to get up now. Things that didn't happen yesterday, forget about it. It didn't go good. Say, you know what, Lord, today will be better. But you can't expect doors to open and you're not opening it.
Yeah,
you have to open doors, You have to knock at the doors. I am the kind of person, I know people always get fed up on me calling them. When I want something, something has to be done. I would call you, I would knock at your door, and I would make sure that you say, Roxanne, yes or no. But it's all up to the individual. You have to know what you want, make the time, push at it.
Yes,
24 hours we have in a day, you decide how you want to spend yours.
Yes, everyone has that same 24 hours, right?
Every single one.
And I always like to say, yes, it comes down to motivation at sometimes, but then sometimes it's all about discipline. Because what happens when the motivation disappears, right? What keeps you pushing still? So you need to have that discipline in place as well,
Must.
It's definitely a combination.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. All right, so guys, the Be Untouchable podcast is all about elevating voices, celebrating impact. And as you can see tonight, we have a cultural icon who is in the history books here tonight. And that is what the Be Untouchable podcast is all about. So with that being said, I would like to ask you, what does being untouchable mean to you?
Being untouchable, the word alone is so powerful. I mean, I always tell persons we are all touchable, but when you create your legacy, it's always good to be untouchable. Create the legacy that you want to stay. You'll have the good ones, you'll have the bad ones, you'll have the sad ones, the happy ones. But build a legacy on you yourself, knowing that you have worked hard, you have dedicated a lot of your time, effort, and to be untouchable. Work hard. Work hard to be untouchable. Untouchable doesn't come just so. That word is so powerful.
Yeah.
That when somebody say, you're untouchable, it makes you feel good to know you have worked this hard and this strong to be where you are. Because again, I use Marshall Montano as my icon. He
Yes.
is untouchable.
Mm-hmm.
And if you listen and to his story, it's similar to what I'm going through.
Right.
You know, he has a downtime, his
Mhm.
uptime at what age, you know. So be the untouchable person that you want to be. If you know that you want to build a legacy for yourself,
Mhm.
you know how hard you have to work. You know that there will be down days. You know, there will be cry days, there will be happy days. But work towards being untouchable. Work towards being another Roxanne Omalo, another Patricia Lizama, may she rest in peace. You know,
Yes.
another Marsha Montano, another Zakia Gill.
Yes.
You know, we have so much
Yes.
of untouchable persons based
Mhm.
on what they are building in the community and the country.
Yes.
So being untouchable is you yourself building a legacy and working hard to make sure that word untouchable always stays in front of your name. Untouchable Roxanne Omalo.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Could not have said it any better. All right, guys. We're going to head to the honorable mention, the UHM, which is Untouchables honorable mention. Again, I'm going to say it's persons who are not on the podcast, but they are worthy of our mention. All right. So this week, our honorable mention goes to All right, guys, welcome back. And thank you very much for keeping it locked with us. And something I forgot to mention to the very beginning of the podcast. I want to send a big thank you to everyone who shared the podcast, who liked the podcast, who followed, and everyone who sent their warm support from across the globe, right? Because it was Trinidad, it was Connecticut, it was New York, it was all over. So I really appreciate the love that we got from you guys. So continue to support, continue to share, and continue to like. And don't forget to subscribe, all right? So, Miss Roxanne Omalo, the legendary Carnival Queen, do you have any final words for our viewers tonight? Anyone looking on right now? You can just, leave them with a few words before we end the podcast.
You know, first I want to say thank you again for having me on the show. Very, very, I love the whole idea of this. You know, I want to wish you all the best as you go forward, that this will grow and grow more. Secondly, I want to say thank you to everyone who believed in me, not just this year, last year, but throughout the years who have worked alongside with me, who know my journey, not just on the culture aspect, but personally as well too. Those who have dive into whatever aspect to assist, I want to say thank you. Thankfulness is always great. Don't ever forget persons who have stood with you. And to the young ones who have been following me, I have been getting the amount of messages from parents, the calls,
Right.
the Facebook messages, and all these the persons got my number. My daughter wants to meet you. I want to say, that I'm hoping and planning an event soon, hoping that it comes out. You all would know about it, that I would actually try. I'm trying to bring the queen costume to Mayaro.
Sounds great.
Because
Yeah.
I have been winning for so long, and the people in my community actually, some of them can't go to the show, so they can't
Yes.
actually see the
Man,
size
I
of the
endorse that
costume and stuff.
1000%.
So I'm trying to see in which way, in which month or day I could bring the costume and have a children's day, because I love children.
Yes.
So have that full event. Persons who want to achieve anything in life, there would be that bad days. There will be dark days. Dark days. In my dark days, I cry and pray.
Yes.
I cry until snot come out my nose.
Yeah.
And when I'm hurting as well too, you would see me, I distance myself. Persons who want to achieve anything in life, let those dark days get you that strength to get back up and be stronger. Come out of the dark days and show them that there's always a light at the tunnel. Anything you want to do in life legally, you can't do it. Put your mind to it. Don't feel that if you fail today, or if thing doesn't work out today for you, that is not for you. No. Consistency is something that I've always say, and I will always continue to say, it's something that plays a great part in me being consistent in some of the things I have done and making sure that I stay there. While I know it may not have been going the way, I stay consistent. Continue, fly like an eagle. When the noise I'm making, an eagle keeps its head straight.
Exactly.
You know, I continue to fly as an eagle and keep my head straight, forget the noises around me. But always believe in yourself first. You are the one to make things happen. You are the one to make your dream come true. You are the one to become untouchable because you are that person who knows what you want to achieve. And with that said, anything could happen. And remember that when you are successful, always remember and give thanks because that is important as well. So from your Carnival Queen, Trinidad and Tobago, to you, be untouchable. Make sure that you dive into anything you would like to. Remember that the world evolves around us and we are here for a short time, but enjoy it. With that said, Trinidad and Tobago and the world, love you, love you, love you. I'm going for four in a year, so look out for me next year.
You heard that? You heard it right here. Look out for next year. All right. So, Roxanne, it was an absolute honor to have you here. It's always a pleasure and a privilege to be in the presence of greatness, and that is what you are. You are actually a cultural icon. And on behalf of the entire Untouchable team, I just want to say we appreciate you. We love you. Keep doing what you do and keep inspiring persons because I myself was so intrigued when I saw the costumes and and this person was from Mayaro, of all places, right? So continue to do your thing, continue to be safe, continue to push. I know you will, but just continue to do it.
Thank you very much.
And guys, this is where we wrap up the Be Untouchable podcast. And in a world where you could be anything, be resilient, be untouchable. See you in the next one.
Yeah.